So the chickens are finally coming home to roost, guys.
Patient care is being severely affected at Christchurch Hospital, with the emergency department hitting code red almost every day. A senior doctor there says they need more resources. And Christchurch is not alone, as ED doctors nationwide back a call for help across the motu.
An ED in crisis, with the public paying the price.
Patients are dying now really because of substandard care. The patients dying in the waiting room and corridors, or who leave and literally drop dead in the car park, and literally drop dead in the car park, and literally drop dead in the car park. We're in code red every day.
Some are waiting more than 24 hours to be seen. The target is 6.
But I've made my expectations clear to Health New Zealand. This needs to be a continuous priority to make sure that all patients are seen in a timely and quality manner in our emergency departments up and down our country.
The corridors get so full that you're blocking access to vital equipment, to the toilets. It's dire. It can take 45 minutes for the paramedics to unload a patient when they arrive with an unwell patient.
I think we can definitely improve things. We can make the timeliness better. We can improve the way that we deliver care. But I think I can reassure the public that it's a safe system.
And literally drop dead in the car park, and literally drop dead in the car park, and literally drop dead in the car park. Here and now we need more resources. EDs across the country just need more doctors, more nurses and more space. That's what you need now, today. Should have been done yesterday.
But still, they wait.
It's very easy to look around and think, well, this is only getting worse for everyone.
Who knew that increasing the population at such a rapid rate just to save the housing Ponzi was going to have downsides for the local population? And that's not the only problem that these open borders are causing. People wonder why their council rates are rising exponentially, which they are. But the government should no longer be allowed to avoid any blame for this. Local councils do need to shoulder some blame, but they have absolutely no control over how many people move into New Zealand, and therefore have no control over how many of these new people move into their local council-run areas. The central government controls all of this. All of the extra costs for new roading and new services for these new people gets passed on to existing residents via council rates. Now, if all of these new people arriving are doctors and nurses, then that can only be regarded as a good thing because they're helping the local population and are helping solve the problems successive governments have caused. But if all of the new people coming in are not medical staff, which it looks like they are not, given the lack of medical staff that the country is seeing right now, then all new people will be doing is putting extra strain on an already very strained medical system. This is why I find it so strange that Luxon created the new Parent Boost visa. Here he is talking about it.
New Zealand has just got a whole lot more attractive for skilled workers from overseas. We're excited to announce the Parent Boost Visitor Visa today. And that will help drive our economic growth by incentivising skilled people to come to New Zealand and live, knowing that their parents and their grandparents can join them in New Zealand for extended visits, if they meet the criteria that they must be fit, able to support themselves financially, and have their own health insurance.
That's right. I'm super excited that we're announcing Parent Boost today. And I know that many people from different cultures will be celebrating this news. Because when you move countries, the people that you miss the most are your family. Parent Boost gives us the opportunity to reconnect those vital ties and makes it easier to settle and stay in New Zealand. And it's a much fairer system, giving certainty to our communities and clarity over how we make this happen.
So, for everyone who has parents living overseas, go onto the Immigration New Zealand website and see how your parents can be eligible to come here for 5 years or even longer.
Isn't it obvious to him that these people are going to be older and therefore more likely to put additional strain on an already strained hospital system? He makes out like having their own health insurance means that they're not going to be a burden on the New Zealand health system. But unless they're bringing their own doctors or nurses, they're going to be utilising doctors or nurses that other Kiwis are desperately in need of. So the borders are wide open, and they've been wide open for years just to save a housing Ponzi. We know that. It's all that each government over the last 30 years have cared about. I made a video just the other day where I spoke about the collapsing New Zealand dollar, which is obviously being sacrificed once again to save the Ponzi. But sooner or later the government needs to realise that people's lives are actually more important than the housing Ponzi. And think about it. What highly skilled medical expert is going to move to New Zealand to be paid in New Zealand dollars now with the dollar collapsing? when they could be getting paid in another country that is not letting its currency collapse just to save a housing Ponzi. These experts will compare their pay prospects between countries, and right now being paid in New Zealand dollars on an international basis is only slightly above being paid in monopoly money. You never know, some of them might decide to accept a lower wage because they love the beauty of New Zealand, but then they will have a look at New Zealand's house prices and I should imagine quickly change their minds. The only way for New Zealand to stop being in a perpetual state of crisis is to stop all immigration unless it is for much needed medical staff. So looking through the New Zealand immigration green list roles, which are the roles that are desperately needed by New Zealand at the minute, can Kiwis not be trained up to be an assistant dairy farm manager, a backhoe operator, a careers counsellor, a dairy cattle farmer, a database administrator, an earth-moving plant operator general, an electrician general, an excavator operator, ooh, a fitter general, wow, or a halal slaughterer. Now, being an animal lover, that one seriously disappoints me. So just think, all of these industries are saying that they can't get staff in New Zealand. But I say if all of these industries want staff, then let them train Kiwis young and old. So many Kiwis are being thrown on a scrap heap because companies keep taking this easy option of importing an already trained person. Now this practice has got to end. Now for many years now, the more people who move to New Zealand, the more expensive everything keeps getting. So how is it good for the country? What's good about it? The only winners once again are the landlords. They are happy to let exponential numbers of people in because it makes them richer. And unfortunately, most MPs are landlords, which is why we've got this problem in the first place. But when you've got Kiwis dying in the car parks of hospitals because the hospitals can't cope with the massive influx of new people that the government is pushing onto them, then I think it may finally be time that the masses wake up and say enough is enough. Luxon has let in 114,700 new non-New Zealand citizens in the July year. Now what are the odds on all of them being doctors and nurses? And hopefully none of those 73,400 Kiwis that have left are doctors or nurses. But what could actually be even worse is if a lot of the Kiwis that are leaving are doctors or nurses, and then the people who Luxon's letting in are not doctors and nurses. That's going to put even more strain on the medical system. And does anyone actually know what the numbers are? Now call me cynical, but I suspect that this government, if giving the choice between a doctor and a nurse or a landlord, would choose the landlord any day of the week. This government needs to get its priorities right and quickly, that's if it can. I think that the way things are going, ACT and New Zealand First will see that they will have to start distancing themselves from Luxon soon. And please don't get me wrong, Chippy is just a chip off the old block of Jacinda, who literally threw hundreds of thousands of residency visas around like they were confetti during COVID, and who appeared to have absolutely nothing but contempt for your average working Kiwi all the time she was leader. So no, there are no good options at the moment. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully things are going to get better soon. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers for that.